What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. So I've been thinking out my Terminator display because we're going to have one extra spot in the Terminator collection, and I need to figure it out. So I could theoretically put a non-Terminator statue there, and it's going to be right here. So basically right there. I could put, for example, Pumpkinhead. I could do Silent Hill freaking Nurse. I could also do another Terminator statue, so this entire wall is Terminator themed. And I'm trying to do like the highest quality possible Terminator, the most premium, and I don't want too much like repetitiveness. But so it's kind of boiled down to this. I could do CinemaCat TX, so the Terminator 3 Terminator, which I don't have anything from that line right now. I've been kind of trying to stick to mostly T2. That's like obviously my favorite, so I really would love to just stick to T2. T1's also acceptable. I do like T3. I think it's a great movie. But also that CinemaCat TX is very difficult to find. Like I can't find it anywhere. So that one's a difficult one. Price, God, who freaking knows? I've seen it go for thousands. I've seen it go for this and that. It usually arrives with issues, damage, light up not working, stuff like that. So that's one option. It definitely, at least quality-wise, is good quality. Now, I also could potentially do Sarah Connor bust by Courtmaster Studios. They also did this Frozen T1000, which theoretically I could also do, but like I said, I'm trying to avoid having two of the same character, like another Arnold or another T1000 life-size bust, because I'm already going to have 2 1/3s. Sarah is the other character within the Terminator setup that doesn't have anything outside of my one statue. So I can get this, and this is how the display would look. I'd, in essence, move the Sarah Connor Darkseid right here, and then do the Sarah Connor bust in that corner, and then I'd move the two Darkseid Arnold and T1000 right here, and I'd just do the arm in the middle at that point. I think that looks really good. Like, as a display, I think it flows very nicely, and I think it looks great. So here's like the pros and cons of this. I've been thinking about it. So one, it would definitely be the worst bust of my entire collection, probably. Like, life-size bust. It's already outdated. Like, this looks like a bust from 2015, like a 10-year-old bust. It's from the Philippines, which I know Filipino quality. It's cheap resin, cheap paint. It's not impressive. I've always sold all my Filipino stuff in the past because I found it very disappointing. So I know, like, I would never even consider buying this, like, just as an individual piece, as an individual contributor to the collection. It's not worth my collection. It's not a great piece by any means. Like, honestly, it's like a 5.5 out of 10 statue for me. However, with that being said, and the reason I do consider this very lackluster is it's a very smooth skin, zero texture. I think the likeness is pretty good. Like, you could definitely tell it looks just like my Darkseid Sarah Connor. So the likeness is good. Outfit is fine. The skin tone is decent. The hat's okay. But I would have liked skin texture. The base is fine. It's it's not a large bust, like wide, a lot of shoulder. But polystone hair, no skin texture. Those are like my two biggest things. Like, I mean, here's the thing with the polystone hair. From this angle, you can only see hair right there, because the rest of the hair is a ponytail in the back. It's very similar to that. Like, I can't even like see her hair. If you come to the side, then you can start to see it. But from straight on angle, you cannot see her hair. However, even just details like the sunglasses, they look better on my Darkseid. My Darkseid has skin texture. Like, it's a really nice statue, honestly. I do like that Darkseid quite a bit, actually. But, so like, yeah, this is definitely outdated. I don't like the skin texture because there is none. It's super smooth, and I'm sure in person it looks very cheap. And it's overpriced for what I have to pay. It's $16.50 plus PayPal fees, more like $17.22. So it would be made in 3 weeks, DHL shipped. But here's the fact, though. That as a whole, it is a great contributor to the overall display. It's a companion to Sarah, 1/3. And I think for the display, it looks good. Not as like if I was to just have just that, I would never consider this. I'd never buy it by itself. I only consider it because it's a great companion piece to her. And the whole display, it looks good. Because then you have a life-size bust or life-size version of every 1/3 on this wall. The T1000, we have multiple T1000s, boom, boom, and each get their own life-size, and then Arnold, you have these two with him. Endo, there's tons of life-size everywhere. Sarah's like the one-off, and this would give her her own life-size bust. And I like that. I feel like it makes the display whole. If you do the TX there, and you keep, let's just say Sarah here, Arnold, which I've put here temporarily, Arnold T1000 TX. It doesn't flow quite as good. Arnold never even engaged, or the T1000 didn't engage with the TX. You'd realistically have to do this Arnold with the TX if you did that, because this is more so how Arnold looked in T3 as well. A little bit older. I believe the outfit was slightly different, but he would go better next to the TX versus T1000. But I think this looks really good as a display. And that's the reason I'm considering it. Not because of the awesome detail or anything like that. Like I said, detail-wise, it'll be the worst bust in my collection. I do like Sarah Connor, but it's not like she's my favorite character by any means. Like, I do like Linda Hamilton. I don't think she's mega hot by any means. I did want to show you as well someone who does have her with like some of my statues. Check that out. So here is the Sarah bust with the Sarah Darkside to give you an idea. So it's a good size. Like, it's taller than that statue. It's taller than, like, it's almost as tall as my Arnold bust, honestly. Look how tall it is next to the Arnold statue. Arnold 1/3 is going up to her ear. And it's kind of similar. Like, that is going to the ear. So I feel like it's a good size. Like, it definitely is life size. And as you can see down low, it works in that setup. Like, when I look at it that way, I'm like, yeah, that looks cool. That looks cool. And so this is why I'm considering it. Because I see this, and I've talked to the guy who owns her, and he's happy with her. And he actually paid quite a lot more. I was surprised when he told me how much he paid. I was like, dude, bro, really? And, another person told me I have both and they are great. So people who own it seem to be happy. And like I said, in the Photoshop, I like it. And in that photo from here, I do like it. I think that looks cool. Like I said, I feel like it completes his display. Although I honestly don't know why he has Sarah 1/3 here and Arnold there. Like, dude, bro, switch it. Do the Sarah bust in the middle, put Arnold on the left. So not sure why he's displaying it like that. I need to tell him to move Sarah bust next to it and honestly just take a photo for me. Because it would look much better if Sarah, like, put Arnold here on the left. Sarah right there. That'd look much better. Or even put this Sarah right here and move this down to the right. That would also look better. So basically that's the situation, folks. So I'm trying to decide right now if we want to buy this Sarah Connor life-size bust. I've thought about it in the past and I decided against it. I was just like, I'm just going to be unhappy with the quality. I know Filipino quality. Granted, I love the Philippines. I lived there for 2 years. My wife is Filipina. I freaking love the Philippines, but their statues are generally pretty freaking bad. They're cheap. They use very crappy quality paint and resin, and it's like, honestly, some of the worst statues I've received ever. A Vegeta, I got a Predator, Hugh Jackman from there, and they were god awful. The worst statues I've ever owned. So, as you can see, there's definitely some pros and cons. It fits the display very nicely. Although I'm also not a huge fan of putting that Sarah right there, simply because she's like looking this way. She goes better on like this side of the collection. not this side. I would probably angle her if I put her over there. Although she can only be angled like 2 inches. So it's not like a horrible angle, but it's definitely not as good an angle. But it's definitely something I'm thinking right now. Like I said, I could technically just throw Pumpkinhead right there, and it solves my space issue for horror when eventually Pinhead comes. And just put Pumpkinhead right there in the corner. But I'm trying to do the whole complete Terminator wall. That's like my vision, my idea. I've always wanted to have a random Pumpkinhead in the corner. Just kind of doesn't make sense. But does it really matter if it doesn't make sense? Does it really matter? You know? So, definitely something to think about. I'm highly considering. I'd say I'm about 50 to 60% yes right now on paying the 50% deposit right now to Courtmaster to get Sarah. So 50% there, 60% of just pulling the trigger. I was actually going to consider getting Darkseid Kratos, the custom Kratos that Art Statue Collector had. I had or at least I thought I had an opportunity to buy it. Supposed friend of mine said he was going to give me his, and then I told him, like, sure, I'll take your pre-order off you. And then when time comes to pay, he ghosted me. So I was like, okay, whatever. I don't have space for it anyways. That one's also like $17.50. So the money I was putting aside for that Kratos is kind of what I'm just going to use to buy Sarah in essence. I do like that Kratos. It's not perfect. It definitely has flaws, but I still like it quite a bit. I still think my Kratos now is better. Better in many ways, but also better in, like, it doesn't have the swap out torso. But I think the paint and the sculpt, it's definitely higher quality for sure. But yeah, that's a shame. So that's why I'm kind of considering Sarah. I need to think on it though. So that's why I'm making a YouTube video for you guys. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's your opinion that matters. Like, my opinion is the one that makes the ultimate decision. However, I think it's always good to get someone else's perspective. Because sometimes you're just not thinking straight, or maybe you're in a FOMO moment. Sometimes you need people to, like, say, so like, no, don't do that. It's not worth it. Or maybe some of you guys actually own the Sarah bus. You're like, yeah, it's not perfect, but it's still a great piece, and it would fit your collection good, so buy it. That's kind of like everyone who owns it. I know 2 people now who own it, and both have told me it's a great piece. Just get it. But then again, when I look at photos, I'm like, that smooth skin. Jupiter's cock. Anyways, folks, let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.